LED flashlight. I'm making this video for Rich at Winner's Choice Transmission. I just dropped the oil pan and I literally dropped it. I had it siliconed on really well and it went flying. Even though I had a drain plug, there was still a bit of oil in the pan. I currently have the throttle valve at the injection pump, this is a diesel, pegged like the gas pedal's floored, and my cable seems to be operating properly. It's connected, not broken, not binding, and the valve is depressed fully from the bell crank pushing on it from the actuation of the cable. And I had that apart. I had the whole assembly apart, and everything seems to be working fine, smooth, not sticking, no junk inside. And I took apart, I think those there, and they all seemed fine, but they're so hard to remove from the case. You take out the roll pin, you gotta tap, 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 get that cap out of the valve body. I took apart those on that side. Whatever they do, I don't know. Anyhow, I've got this fully depressed now. The cable is fully extended. I'm gonna go upstairs and release the little blocker thing that I have on the injection pump. Oh, my fluorescent light just came back on. Never had a problem with it up until now. Of course, the one that I need right over the front of the truck. Great groan. Those are my knees grinding away. I've got the throttle fully depressed with this stick here. Pull it out. Gas pedal's back to 0. And where's my gizmo? Everything seems to be working fine. Pulling the cable. I had tried different adjustments on the throttle valve setting, but it was just where it was. I was driving the truck and then I left the hotel in the morning and I had no more shifting. And then after driving 100 miles, barely getting third gear at 50 miles an hour, and then it would downshift manually like the cable was fully stretched. All of a sudden, after 100 miles, just went right back to normal and everything was fine. I even tried adjusting the throttle valve cable, no difference. And then I floored it going through an intersection 2 weeks later, I guess a couple weeks ago, and I started doing it again, which would lead me to believe that it's something related to the cable, but it seems to work fine. Cable didn't fall off when I had the valve body off, and there is a 1/4 inch, 3/16 of space. This valve works well. There's another valve deeper down. I want to get oil on the camera. I don't think that's supposed to be touching. There's supposed to be a gap there, because that's the same as it was on the other 700 that I pulled apart. That was an 88 that had the extra accumulator, so you don't get that clunk when you put it in drive. I had different wiring for the lockup. It'd be nice if my lockup worked. My solenoid seems to be functioning. I went through that test. It's normally open, so when you fill it with solvent, it drains through when you put 12 volts to it. Mine doesn't click like the other one did. It had different wiring, the other one, but it doesn't click. Anyhow, when you put 12 volts to it, it closes, and the solvent just sits inside a little funnel thingy that goes into the transmission. So there's a video for you, Rich. I'm not sure if there's something that's supposed to be moving inside here, but maybe that's where the blockage is, or the sticky part inside this. But I had this whole thing just disassembled. I had that sleeve out of there. I think I did. Don't remember. This transmission wasn't sludgy that much, just a little bit. Fluid wasn't burned. And it was working normally after crapping out in Canastota, New York. And then went through the intersection and it started doing that crazy shifting into second gear at 20 miles an hour, third gear at 40. wish I knew what else to do except buy a new valve body for 200 bucks. Take the whole thing down again. I'm trying to show you this part. About a shadow. There's the spring moving. Something in there malfunctioning. I had that little valvey. I had a little plunger in my hand. It seemed alright. Alright, there's your video, Rich. Thanks for helping.